Hey everybody, welcome back to Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles. Today I have 43 rolls of nickels, part customer wrapped and Fed wrapped. For the life of me, I cannot get circulated rolls of anything. It's all 2023 nickels, 2023 dimes, 2023 quarters. I would graciously accept a box of 2023 pennies just so I could keep a box for my collection. And those are the only ones that I can't find, which I'm fine with. I have a few boxes of pennies to hunt. But today we have 43 rolls, and hopefully we can find something decent. So let's get into roll 1 of 43. Some of these look like I have older enders. Some of them I could have a couple of new rolls in there. I did see something 2022. Something else was, I think the other roll was 2022 as well. All right, let's get into it. I'll bring you in on our first find. First roll, I have a 1994 Philly under the scope. This is kind of a minor error. You can see some of the words in Monticello. The O is weak. The I, the C, the E, both L's. The T and cents, they're all weak. That's the result of a grease strike. So grease fills in the letters on the die, which are in incuse, causing it to have a weak strike, sometimes completely missing. This would be similar to the In God We Rust era on the 2005 Kansas quarter. So I held that aside just for a find. I may toss this one back. All right, let me finish out this roll, and I'll bring you in on our next find. Roll number 2, we have a 1954 out of Philly. All right, I'll bring you in on the next one. All right, roll 4 is going to give us 2 finds. We have a 1941 out of San Fran and a 1946 Philly. All right, I'll get into roll 5 and I'll bring you in if we have anything. Roll number 6 gives us a 1948 from Philly. Looks like it has a pretty good strike to it. We got steps. Yeah, that's not bad. Some machine doubling. All right, I'll bring you in on our next find. Roll number 8 will give us 2 finds. A 1953 out of Denver and a 1957 also out of Denver. Bring you in on the next one. Roll number 11 gives us our first foreign, a nickel Canadian 1989. Roll 12, we have a 1952 out of Denver. Bring you in on the next find. Actually, I thought this one was potentially a double die. Repunch mint mark. But I can't find it anywhere. So we're just going to call it damaged D. Roll 14 gives us 2 finds. A 1953 out of Philly and a 1954 out of Denver. Bring you back in on our next one. Roll 15 gave us 3 finds. We have a 1951 S, a 1959 D that would have been gorgeous if it wasn't for that nick up at the top. But we have Denver and a 1941 grungy coin, also out of Denver. All right, I'll get into the next roll, bring you in on the next find. Roll 16 gives us another 1959 out of Denver. All right, I'll bring you in on our next one. All right, roll 18 was a full roll of 22 Phillies, but they did have a few finds in there. I'll show you this one under the scope. I have no idea what these are. You see on Jefferson's eye here, some sort of anomaly. I don't know how these happen, but I found a ton of them in all different spots, different rolls. There's nothing else on the reverse. It doesn't look like it's a clash die. I don't know what this is. If it was a die dent, I'm not sure. But I have 6 of those. The next one here is a die clash. The telltale on these, I've shown you before, is the line here. Some of them have a line going all the way through and a little bit down here. So this one's a minor die clash. It could be like a late stage. You can see under Monticello is a portion of Jefferson's eye here. It doesn't show up all that well. Like I said, it's just a minor clash. There's a little bit in the doorway here. And then I'll show you the next one. There were 4 of these. You can see in Jefferson's eye line here, it's much larger, comes out over to here. I don't think it's any lower than that. You also see some either polish marks or feeder finger lines here. And I'll show you the reverse of this one. This one's much stronger. You can see over here, there's a portion, I think of the side of Jefferson's face, one of his eyes here, the start of another one there, and if I rotate, you have that line in the doorway again, right in here. So all in all, not a bad roll. This one here is probably, these 4 are probably the best out of the bunch. That first one, I don't even know what to call it. If anybody else has seen something like that, I found them on I think the 21s in the eyebrow, a lot of them in the 22s. But if you've seen anything like that, put something down in the comments if you know what they're called. It would be appreciated because I have no idea what to call them. All right, let me get into roll 19 and I'll bring you in on our finds. Roll 21 gives us our next 2 finds. 1948 out of Philly and a 1982 Canadian. All right, I'll get into the next roll. I'll bring you in if we find anything. Roll 23. We have a 1946 out of Denver. All right, 2 more rolls are Fed wrapped, then the rest of the 18 rolls are going to be customer wrapped. So maybe we'll have some better luck. Roll number 26, and we have what appears to be a copper culprit. Let's see if it is actually copper or if it's a zinc. $19.79. All right, we just lost 4 cents. We'll put it as part of our finds. I'll go through here and bring you back if we find anything. Roll 26, and we have another 1959. This one out of Philly. All right, get into the next one. I'll bring you back in on our next find. Roll 30, we have 2 50s finds. We have a 1957 out of Denver and a 1958 also out of Denver. All right, I'll get into roll 31 and I'll bring you back in if we find anything else. Roll 31, 2 more 50s finds. We have a 1957 out of Philly and a 1959 out of Denver. All right, I'm going to get into roll 32, see if we find anything. Roll 32, and we've got a 40s find. We haven't seen a 40s in a little bit. 1948 out of Denver. All right, get into roll 33, bring you in on our next find. Our finds for roll 33 in order of appearance is a 1941 Philly, a foreign Canadian 1986, another 1959 Philly. All right, let me get into roll 34. I'll bring you back in if we have anything. Roll 35 gives us our first 1940, I believe, and this is out of Philly. All right, let me get into roll 36. I'll bring you all back if I find anything. Roll 38, and we have a 1941 out of San Francisco. I didn't check this. Sorry about that. Someone's at my door. That looks fairly normal to me. Roll 40 gives us 2 50 finds. We have a 1956 out of Denver and a 1952 out of San Francisco. Oh, I can't remember. I either need the 1952D or the 1951D for my album. And my luck, it'll be the 1952D, because I think we got the 1951D today. But I will check, and if I do have one, I will bring you in for it at the end of this video. All right, well, that does it. 43 rolls hunted, a few finds. I didn't realize that the 51S that we found was a semi-key date, but here's our finds. So we have those nickels that were die clashes in that strange anomaly. Our beautiful 1979 copper cent. Were foreigns, 1989 Canadian in 82 and in 86. We have that partial grease strike. We have our 1940 Philly, 41 Philly, 41 Denver, and a 41 San Francisco. 46 Philly, 46 Denver, 2 48 Phillies, and a 48 Denver. Then we have our 52 Denver and a 52 San Fran, 2 53 Denvers, 54 Denver and a 54 Philly, a 56 Denver, 57 Philly, 2 57 Denvers, a 58 Denver, 2 59 Phillies, and 3 59 Denvers, And then the find of the hunt is this 1951 San Fran, which is the one that I did need for my book. And that one is a mintage of 7,776,000. So I'll get that in the book. I'll plug that in with you guys. And that'll be it. That'll be the end of the video. So just give me a minute and let me get the book. All right, so here's the album that I'm working on. I'm missing 1939D, 1939S, and some silvers, 1942S, 1943D, 1944D, 1944S, 1945D, and I needed the 1951S, which we just found. So we'll put that one in. All right. So that the 50s are pretty much done. Once I get from the 38 to 59, once I get that filled up, I'll start focusing more on these here. The other day I did come across this 1968 proof. But that's my album so far. And these are all from coin roll hunting. All right, till the next one.